Well, well, well. I have to go over here to YouTube and see the live chat because I can't see it here. Just run through my son's channel. So I'm watching the live chat on my cell phone and you guys are right here. This is going to be interesting. There we go. I see people turning up. What's up, David? I don't. Okay, I can't even say that. David Burnett. Hey, how you doing? Hello, Oklahoma. Snap phase. Scott, you were not first. Hey, WTT. Carlos Laguna. Lan Lee's here. All right. Get 3 more people in here, we'll hit 100. And we'll get this party started. Oh, wow, we jumped from 97 to 129. Hey, Oklahoma City. Tulsa, how y'all doing up there? News, Nebraska, how you doing? Tex Miles from Seabrook. Hey, how you doing? You're local. I was just at Dairy Queen not 15-20 minutes ago. They're in Kemah, not Seabrook, but Kemah. Unfortunately, I spend a lot of time at places that sell ice cream around here this time of year. David Dottie, why are some auditors such drama queens? I do not know the answer to that. All right, I'm not going to keep you guys very long. We're going to make this pretty quick. I am going to keep that where I can see it, though. All right, there's some things going on in the world that I want to share with you guys. See if I can find it. It's right here. Yes. All right, we're going to start with this one. And here's the reason for this. Now, there are federal laws that protect journalists already on the books. Police are not, or the government, not just police, but the government, are not allowed to just seize our equipment and do stupid stuff like that. Okay? But I want y'all, if you're not paying attention, you may have missed some things, such as how police have been targeting journalists, and not just independent journalists like myself, but mainstream journalists at these protests and stuff that are going on. The reason they're doing that is they can't control the narrative if they can't control the media. They can't control the narrative if they can't control the media. So they have to target the media and get them under control. And that's what we're seeing. So this comes out of Seattle, which is, there's another thing here I'm going to get to in a second that's out of Seattle as well. And so I'll give you just some quick background. Brad Fox previously got video of an officer beating a Seattle police officer beating a guy that was in custody. And lo and behold, he runs into that police officer again. That police officer tells him, hey, we know where you live. And so he repeats what the officer says and gets arrested for it. I'm going to play the video right here and let you guys watch this.
That's the officer that said, oh, we have your address. We're going to ticket you. Yeah, we have your address. Service, pride, dedication to themselves. You said, I have my address. You said that to me.
You said, I have your address.
Oh my God. So are you kidding me? Make sure you get this on camera.
ID on, sir? I'm going to take that as a threat.
I don't have ID on me, no.
Well, you're about to be arrested here in a second for threats. Go put your phone down. I don't want to damage your stuff.
You got to be fucking kidding me.
Film this.
Sarah,
put your phone down.
Get your phone up.
Put your phone down. I'm trying to hang on to this. Don't resist, sir. Place to do
I'm not resisting. Hey, can you?
Okay, so they arrested him and charged him with threatening an officer. The officer lied on the report and said, this guy said, I know where you live and I'm going to get you, or words to that effect. Lo and behold, that officer that you see there making the arrest, that is the officer this journalist filmed beating a handcuffed subject some months ago. You getting a connection there? Can you spell retaliation? more and more, you know, as mainstream media, the police have been able to control them for a long time, because if you want access to a crime scene, if you want inside information, if you want to be able to interview an officer, you know, if you want all the good stuff, you got to play our game. And that's why mainstream media doesn't cover things like me getting attacked by the FBI or, you know, things of that sort, because they want that access. And now they're seeing that, you know, it's not just independent journalists that are being attacked and maced and everything. They're doing it to everybody. The mainstream media, because mainstream media is out there with us reporting on what's going on. And that's the problem. That is a problem for them, because they're not able to keep that whole good guy, we're the good guys narrative up. Or it's just 1% of the officers that are bad. When you see video after video after video of police officers shooting people in the head with beanbag rounds, which aren't intended for that, and there have been people killed with those recently, okay? And it's still happening, and these officers are not being held accountable. And that's the problem. And so what do the police do? Instead of backing off and assessing the situation and saying, hey, you know, we need to make some changes, they get more violent. They get worse, not better. Which brings me to the next incident. Let me get out of this.
Grab my phone.
No, hold on. Bear with me a second. That's what I'm looking for right there. Which brings me to the next thing right here. Portland, Oregon. These guys are medics. There are some protesters over here. These guys are volunteer medics. They are marked. They have crosses, medic crosses on their shirts. Some of them have it on their bags. You know, they excuse me. They are clearly, plainly visible as being medics. There's a guy here on the ground that's been injured. I don't know how he was hurt. Excuse me. But the medics are there rendering aid to this injured person when the Federal Protective Services comes over. And anybody want to guess how this goes? Okay, so there, see the medic's bag right there with the cross on it. So they got crosses on their shirts. Got the guy down here injured. They're alerting the police. The police are approaching, and they are alerting them, hey, we're over here rendering aid to somebody. Okay, the police coming up. They put their hands up. They're telling them, hey, we're rendering aid to this guy. And watch what happens. Now, did you see that? That officer was fixing to kick him, and he caught himself. He realized he's on camera, so now he just breaks out his stick. Now, these guys, these medics are not violent. They're not doing anything. They're not even protesting. They're just there rendering aid to people that go down and get hurt. That is all they're doing. And these guys come in and attack them because they are helping, you know, protesters. You know, they're rendering aid to protesters. You know, and the crazy thing is, if that was a police officer that was down, they'd render aid to him too. But let me finish this video.
Get up, get up, get up. Get up. Get up, get up, get up. Get up, get up, get up.
Now, I don't know if any of you caught it. It's hard to see in the video, but I've looked over this video several times. Not one single one of those officers is wearing a name tag, has nothing visible to identify who he is. Not one of them that I can tell.
Get up, get up.
You guys good?
All right. I'm not going to replay that. There are going to be links in the description of this video. I'll put links in there for each of these videos so that you guys can go over and watch the entire videos yourselves. And I'm keeping an eye on all these kind of stuff. I get people sending me this stuff, and I'm off in Reddit and a couple of other places where I look for this stuff and just kind of monitor it. YouTube, it's everywhere, okay? And the more powerful the union is in these cities, the worse the behavior of the police is. New York City has been just atrocious. Los Angeles, atrocious. Seattle is just crazy. So now, Seattle Police Department has been bad for so long, they really need to just dissolve the department and be done with it. That is one of the departments that they should actually do away with, because they're just too far gone to save. They've been under federal supervision for years, and it's done no good. Anyhow, now we're going over to Michigan. So here we have this kid had an argument with his sister, and he pushed his sister down allegedly. Now, he's like 14, 15, and she is somewhere around that age. And she called the police. The police come. They don't know what's going on. This kid weighs about 110 pounds soaking wet. And these officers are going to tackle him. He's walking with headphones and a hoodie on and a backpack. And he's got the music on and playing loud. He says he never heard the officer screaming at him. It's possible. They're going to end up tackling him and breaking his hip. And then they charged him with what? Resisting arrest. Of course, you know, that's how it goes. But I want you to notice that the amount of force. Now, there's what's called, law enforcement has what's called a force continuum. All right? And it starts at the bottom with talking aggressively, giving orders, and escalates all the way up to shoot them if you have to. All right? But there are steps to the force continuum. You don't go from A to B. You work your way up the ladder, you know, barring, you know, some fantastic event like somebody pulls a gun, you go from aggressive talking and orders to, you know, having a use of force. Okay, I got that. Okay, but when you have somebody that's not armed, they still don't have all the information. It is strictly a contempt of cop tackle. They went after this kid, and they tell him, when the police are talking to you, you stop. I'm going to let you hear it for yourself.
Hey, stop talking to me a second. Hey! Stop! Stop! What's going on with you and your sister?
By the way, the sister was uninjured.
If you get up in front of him, he's not listening to me.
Stop! Now, in fairness to the cops, I find it difficult to believe this kid, this officer just pulled in front of him and stopped. He changed course to go around them. All right? I believe he knew they were there. However, he doesn't have to stop and talk to them. If they don't detain him, you know, he doesn't want to talk to them. Nothing says he has to stay there and talk to them. But now is when it gets crazy. So, here we go.
Give me your other hand!
When the police say stop, you stop! You hear that?
I'm serious. I'm not kidding. I swear to God. You guys really. Please don't move me. I'm begging you.
Stay down on the ground. check. Take a breath, man. Slow, deep breath. No, we didn't.
Which leg?
This one. I can't move the other one. I really can't. I heard a sound. Please.
What do you think would happen if you did that to one of those cops' son? What would happen to you? What would that cop do to you?
115, I'll be out with 30.
Okay. This is a different perspective. This is the other body camera from the sergeant, and we're lucky we have these body cameras. We're lucky we have that footage, because otherwise they would lie and their lies would go unexposed. But the body camera doesn't lie. The camera doesn't lie to cover for them. That's why cameras are so important.
I'll show you all at 1428.
You were told to stop. Told to stop by the police. Get on the ground. When the police say stop, you stop. You hear that?
I'm serious. I'm not kidding. I swear to God. You guys really, I promise. Please don't move me. I'm begging you.
Stay down on the ground.
Please leave me.
Check him.
Please.
What you see circled there are the earbuds this kid was wearing when they tackled him. Had those in his ears. I want to stop that. I'm so disgusted by that. At their lack of humanity, lack of empathy. And the entire incident was uncalled for. There was no need to tackle him. They could have walked up, grabbed him by his shirt and said, "Stop, we need to talk to you. We're detaining you," whatever. Okay? They had zero facts about what exactly was occurring. All they knew was that the sister had been pushed down, and that's it. It wasn't, hey, she's been injured or whatever. This is what's wrong. You know, we give these police officers military type weapons, military type equipment, and we keep telling them, oh, you know, everybody's out to hurt you, everybody's out to hurt you. You know, if you give somebody a hammer, everything looks like a nail, and that's what this is the result. This is the result of it. If that had been some police officer's kid, there'd have been heck to pay. As it is, he wasn't, and they dislocated his hip. They took him, when they finally got him to the hospital, because the officers didn't believe him. Oh, you're not hurt. You're faking. You're not hurt. You know, it's just so disgusting. It is so disheartening to sit and listen to that kid crying out in pain. Go back and listen to it. I'm not going to play it. The link is in the description. And there'll be no accountability. His hip was so screwed up, when they got him to the emergency room, they shot him up with morphine to kill the pain so that they could reset the hip. This is what's creating the divide in America. The police become more and more violent. They become more and more self-centered and self-serving. They don't serve us anymore. They serve themselves. And we are seeing the result of that now. We're seeing, you know, they're crying about, oh, everybody hates us. Why does everybody hate us? Well, people have seen what you're doing. This has been coming for a long time. I've been preaching about it for 5 years, at least 5 years, probably more like 6, but who's counting? You know, that if things continued to go the way they were going, that we would end up with people striking back at the police, fighting back. People have had enough. They've had enough. They've had enough of being abused and having people murdered and being framed for crimes they didn't commit. Who can attest to that one? And now, you know, it's not like it used to be where the police could lie and control the narrative. Now we've got video. The truth is the truth, and the camera doesn't lie. And so they can't dispute it anymore. And instead of stepping up and saying, okay, we got to fix this, we got to change our ways, we've got to do the right thing, they stand, oh, everybody's against us. Everybody's against us. No, people aren't against you. They've just had enough of you. They've had enough of the framing people and not having consequences when you're caught. Well, we saw what happened with the Tuttle murders. We see where that leads. The district attorney's office knew Goins was dirty since at least 2008. 12 years this guy has been framing innocent people. The district attorney's office knew it, convicted them, sent them to prison anyway. And Kim Ogg is making this big deal, patting herself on the back right now, trying to get votes. Oh, look at all the people I'm getting out of prison. She put half of them there. She's not doing anybody any favors. She's cleaning up her mess. People have had enough. There must be accountability when the police do wrong. That means the union's got to go. That means the good old boys got to go. That means the whole policeman's bill of rights got to go. That means the crooked politicians that are in the pocket of the police unions have got to go. I hope that you will remember this election to not vote for anybody who has the recommendation of a police union. That's it, guys. Wrapping this thing up. Like I said, the links to these videos are in there, and I hope you'll go over and take a look at them. And I hope you're keeping track of how journalists are being targeted by police. Journalists are being targeted by police. Yep. There's a reason for it. Y'all be safe, and my son's watching. You can